What kind of HOA president calls the cops to evict a war hero from his own home? That's the question I was asking myself, standing on Uncle Joe's porch, coffee mug burning my hand as sirens tore through the sleepy morning in Pinewood Grove. The sun was barely up, casting long shadows across the tidy lawns, when two police cruisers screeched into the driveway, lights flashing like it was a drug bust. Behind them, Karen Mitchell, HOA queen of our little suburb, marched forward, clipboard in hand, her smug grin sharp enough to slice bread. She pointed at Joe's house built with his own sweat 40 years ago and barked, "Officers, arrest this man. He's squatting illegally." My gut twisted. Uncle Joe, a retired Army general who'd stared down enemies in 3 wars, didn't even blink. Aunt Clara, quick with a quip and tougher than leather, set her tea down with a deliberate clink. Me, Matt, their nephew, I felt my blood boil, fists balling up. This wasn't just a neighborhood spat. This was a declaration of war, and Karen had no idea she just stepped onto a battlefield she couldn't win. It all started months back when Karen turned our quiet street into her personal fiefdom. Joe's flagpole, proudly waving the stars and stripes, was her first target. Too tall, she claimed, citing some rules she'd scribbled herself. Joe, who'd led soldiers through hell and back, didn't flinch at her nasty letters whining about his gaudy flag or his mailbox being half an inch too high. Clara taped the first notice to the fridge, scrawling, "Queen Karen's decrees," across it. I wanted to march to the HOA office and give Karen a piece of my mind, but Joe just pruned his roses, calm as if he were solving a crossword. Karen didn't stop. She patrolled daily, tape measure swinging from her belt like a gunslinger's holster, slapping fines on everything: grass too tall, wind chimes too loud, shed paint too bold. She even sent some lackey with a color swatch to check Joe's shed, like it was a crime scene. Joe and Clara stood firm, unshaken, a fortress of patience. "You don't win by yelling," Joe told me, his voice steady. "You wait." I didn't get it. I thought fighting meant charging in, not standing still. Boy, was I wrong. Karen's obsession grew uglier. One morning, I found another yellow violation slip wedged in Joe's door. His garden was unauthorized. I tore it off, storming inside. "This is straight-up harassment," I snapped, tossing it on the table. Clara read it aloud, her voice dripping with mockery. "Offensive to community standards." I half-joked about arming their garden gnome with a toy gun. Joe sipped his coffee unfazed. "If she wants a fight, she'll need more than paper." Clara smirked. "Call her HOA SWAT team." I laughed, but my stomach nodded. Karen was pushing, and Joe was just gardening. "You're letting her walk all over you," I said, frustrated. Joe's eyes glinted. "You don't fire first, Matt. That's how you lose." Clara nodded. "Amateurs burn out fast." Outside, Karen prowled, glaring at Joe's roses like they'd insulted her. She wanted a reaction, a crack in his armor. She didn't know Joe wasn't a spark, was a fuse, burning slow and deadly. The real showdown hit on a sticky summer Thursday. 3 hard knocks rattled the door like a battering ram. Joe rose, calm as ever. I trailed him, hard hammering. 2 guys in black polos stood outside, badges gleaming, clipboards clutched like shields. "We're here to inspect for violations," the taller one said, puffing out. "Community Safety Unit." Like it meant something. Joe leaned against the doorframe. "Real badges, or did you print those off the internet?" The guy froze. "Just a perimeter check," he mumbled. My fist clenched, but Clara's hand on my arm stopped me. "Hold," she whispered. Joe's voice turned to ice. "You're threatening an army general on his own property." Across the street, Karen filmed, phone up, grinning like a hyena. Joe stepped closer. "Show me real credentials." The guy flashed a laminated card, Comic Sans fake seal. Joe smirked. "Tell your boss to find a real job," Karen called over, voice sickly sweet. "Trouble, gentlemen?" Clara shouted back. "Try upholding your own standards, Karen." The goon slunk off, Karen trailing, still filming. I turned to Joe. We should have called the cops ourselves. He shook his head. That's what she wants. No, we wait. Clara echoed. Amateurs shoot too soon. I hated their calm, but it was a weapon I was starting to see. Karen's next stunt was pure lunacy. One dawn, 2 unmarked SUVs blocked Joe's driveway, no plates, radiating bad news. Joe answered the door barefoot, Clara calmly buttering toast. 2 men in tactical vests loomed outside, one waving a stack of papers. You violate HOA rules, he barked. We're repossessing this property. I gaped. Joe tilted his head. Got a court order? The guy fumbled, checking his clipboard. We have emergency HOA authority. Joe pulled out a pocket recorder, clicking it on. Say that again. The man froze. Karen, filming from the sidewalk, yelled. Refusal means sanctions. Clara called back. Like your fake cops? Joe flipped through a county lawbook. Evict needs a judge's signature. Impersonating officers is a felony. The men paled, backing off. Karen dialed her phone, fuming. Joe switched off the recorder. Idiots with clipboards, he muttered. I exploded. Why not end this now? Joe smiled. Now they're the bad guys. Clara added. Every step's another nail in her coffin. I saw Karen pacing, phone to her ear. We were waiting, and she was unraveling. That night, we held a war council. Tank, a grizzled vet with a laugh like gravel, slammed a whiskey bottle on the table. You call, we fight, he growled. Big Sam, built like a linebacker, ducked through the doorway, whistling. Ghost, quiet and lethal, sipped coffee like it was his job. Clara kept the mugs full, joking. Treason or HOA takedown? Tank grinned. Both. Joe spread a map of Pinewood Grove, red pins marking Karen's crimes-rigged votes, fake fines, bullying neighbors into selling. A folder brimmed with emails, photos, recordings. We hit hard but legal, Joe said. Facts, not fists. Tank sighed. No explosions? Clara smirked. Permanence hurts more. I slipped flyers into mailboxes at dawn, whispering to neighbors, Karen faked elections. Fines need hearings. She drove families out. The street buzzed glances, murmurs, phones turning on Karen's house. Her panicked email accused us of subversion. Her signs demanded inspections. Her emergency meeting drew 5 people, 3 for pickleball. Our flyers landed in every mailbox, proof of her lies. Joe stood with me, watching the stir. She's done, I said. She's cornered, he warned. That's when she's dangerous. The neighborhood barbecue was our stage. Grills smoked, kids chased each other, and Pete flipped burgers. Then Karen stormed in, clipboard raised, shouting, Joe Harper, you're summoned for violations. The music died. A hot dog hit the grass. She rented citations, endangerment, nonsense. Joe didn't budge. You're trespassing, he said, voice flat. She shoved a paper at him. Legal summons. Joe smirked. Signed by who, the Tooth Fairy? Clara snatched it, cackling. It's a pizza coupon. The crowd roared. Karen screeched. You'll pay for this. Joe stood, his voice low but deadly. You terrorize, you lie, you bully. You're no leader. He turned away, dismissing her. Tank muttered. Best punch is the one she swings and misses. The party kicked back up. Karen stood alone, humiliated, her clipboard shaking. Her final act was desperate. One morning, 4 police cruisers rolled up, Karen trailing, accusing Joe of stealing traffic signs. The cops searched nothing. No evidence, they said. Karen lost it, storming Joe's lawn, screaming at neighbors, trees, the sky, calling us traitors, cowards, sheep. Tank yelled. Need a gold star, Karen? Laughter erupted. The cops ordered her off. She peeled out, tires screaming. Joe watched, stone-faced. She's not done, he said. He was right. Saturday, a box truck rumbled up, Karen live streaming, ordering movers to seize Joe's house. The movers laughed at her. Repossession order. 2 cruisers pulled up, silent. You're trespassing, an officer told Karen, cuffing her for harassment and attempted EVY tie-in. She ranted Joe was a war criminal, Clara grew illegal tulips, I ran a rebel gang. Tripping over her clipboard, she collapsed, sobbing as cameras rolled. The crowd buzzed. She was finished. The next day, Pinewood Grove threw a barbecue, no rules, just freedom. Joe grilled, Clara owned the potluck, Tank cheated at cornhole. Neighbors hugged us, bonded free. Joe sat with me, streamers flying unpermitted. I fought because she scared people, he said. You get that now? I nodded. Karen's shadow faded, a ghost in a neighborhood alive again. We weren't silent anymore. We were home.